a magnificent lyric.
Okay, sometimes allow me to say that DJ Roger can want to show off. Reason why we call him the 7-star DJ. 106.1 Nxt Radio is what you're listening to, and of course the magic hands of DJ Roger in the decks giving us a big hits, because we're the big hit station. It's the Transit Ronnie and Smart Yocha. He was just
don't use any of the words rotted, smashed. No, my friend.
Okay, Smart. Let us get serious, by the way.
I was a bit
no, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, that is only what is his views. But I put an outstanding
performance. Well, I forgot to give you a bugalo, but it's okay. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a guest in studios. They will introduce themselves to us and of course to you that is listening in, and later on we'll pick it up from there. Before that, you will actually be astonished at how you remember the time when we're talking technology.
Yeah.
And we're talking about how you can move with your tongue. Some of these things are actually what we take for granted, but with time you will get to know that these things can actually work. 100%. We're with Mr. Musa. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, Mr. Musa.
Thank you, sir.
So, Musa, tell me. 12.4%, an initiative that was actually recently in the month of May.
Yes. First of all, I want to say good evening to all our listeners and viewers.
Yes, exactly.
I think this is something that we all need to copy. Even if you are on TV, we should always say listeners and viewers, because I will hear but I will not see, but I will be enjoying the same service. So my name is Mwambu Musa. I'm a disability inclusion facilitator with Light for the World under the Make 12.4% work initiative, but also a disability rights activist. So Make 12.4% work, yes, was launched in 3rd May 2018. So it's approximately 1 year now in Uganda. We celebrated our anniversary in May.
Okay.
And we are, Light for the World is in partnership with Reach a Hand Uganda and the National Union of Disabled Persons of Uganda in this initiative. 12.4% is the number or the population of persons with disabilities in Uganda as per the population census of 2014.
I was actually about to ask why 12.4.
Oh yeah. Yes. So that is the number of persons with disabilities
in Uganda.
Wow. So if we are 40 million, for example, then so you do 40 million and just
12.4% of the 40 million.
Yes,
are people with disabilities.
Are people living with a disability. And so we came up with an initiative, and Light for the World and Reach a Hand Uganda and Nodipo, and we called it Make 12.4% Work. And this initiative is aimed at lobbying government, private companies, organizations, and all other stakeholders to open employment opportunities for persons living with disabilities, but also make their programs inclusive.
Mr. Musa, when you say you're lobbying to government and maybe other persons that have
NGOs,
non-government organizations, especially for the 12.4%, it is like you're saying the 12.4% are not fully taken care of when it comes to employment opportunities.
Well, there is something that has been done, but you know, persons with disabilities and other organizations and so many activists have come up and they have always said, we are not employed, we are not receiving these opportunities. So we as Light for the World came up and said, no, why is it not happening? We needed to get a solution instead of, you know, complaining. So persons with disabilities face a number of challenges in accessing employment. Yes, we agree that all people in the country are faced with unemployment, but one, persons with disabilities, the employers themselves have a negative attitude towards employing persons with disabilities.
Now that you say employers have a negative attitude towards employing a person with disabilities,
Yes.
my question would be then, what is being done?
Okay.
Light the world. What is being done to make sure that we actually take care of this 12.4%?
Thank you. And just before I respond, the negative attitudes is in a way that employers think, persons with disabilities cannot perform. If I employ someone with a disability, someone with a hearing impairment, I have to employ an interpreter. So, but also they are discriminated even at work. You find that someone does not even want to relate with them. Accessibility challenge.
That is even when they are given the job.
Exactly. And fortunately Nxt Media has a lift, so I did not have to move on stairs. But just imagine someone in a wheelchair is coming to work at Nxt Radio, which is on 4th floor, and he has to leave his wheelchair down and crawl up to the 4th floor. So at the end of the day, they end up leaving the job. So what is being done?
Yeah.
Light for the World, we are working with a group of disability inclusion facilitators who are youth with different disabilities. We said most times when you're talking about something, if you're hungry, it's better you talk for yourself, but not smart to say, do you know what? Musa is hungry. No, someone may not understand it and may not give you a cake to eat. So we mobilized youth who are motivated and groomed to be change makers, called disability inclusion facilitators, who actually approach companies and organizations to sign up for the Make 12.4% Work initiative, because you have to sign up and sign a proof of commitment that you're committed to make it work. So upon signing, what are we doing about the attitude, so we carry out disability awareness trainings, free disability awareness training.
That is to different organizations.
Yes, and companies. For example, if Nxt Media said we want to be inclusive, we actually come, we attach to you a disability inclusion facilitator, and through that, for you, what you do, you just have to organize yourselves, call us, we give you a disability awareness training, so that you actually know, how do I communicate with someone with a hearing impairment? Do you know that there's someone who will find you there and call you Gwe Muzibe, yet you would call me Gwe Musa, and I would be very happy.
Because you have a name anyway.
Exactly. So, but if we came, we give you that training, at the end of the day, you'll be inclusive. Then secondly, we are also conducting an internship. So we get these companies. For example, I will give an example still of Nxt Media. If Nxt Media said we want to employ persons with disabilities, or we want to give it a test. Most times, of course, people will think, how can really Musa work? So we are saying no. Let them not complain. We can give paid internship. So for us, we facilitate Musa as Light for the World. We give him transport.
You facilitate the person with disability.
Yes.
To come to Nxt Media.
Yes.
For the internship.
For the internship, it's 3 months. So after the internship, we imagine that at the end of the day, Mr. Greg Busolo in the marketing department or anyone would say, oh, I did not know that actually Musa could actually do ABC. I didn't know he could do a program in transit. So at the end of the day, we have just not talked about Musa being able, Musa can work, but
we've actually seen it.
Exactly. So that is something that we have also carried upon. So upon this, so many organizations have already started benefiting, and companies, and we are seeing results, because there are those that have retained them after the 3 months. There are those that have said, no, let this person continue with us for 6 months. So for you, if you are facilitating for 3 months, for us, we are actually going to add him 3 months, and we shall facilitate the person by ourselves.
Wow. I know we would love to have this conversation go on and on and on. But for the 1 year now, since the project was started, up to now, when we celebrated 1 year so far, how has been the movement like? Is it having positive response, especially not just in the companies but even in the entire country, where we have the 12.2% constituted in the now population?
Yes, actually, of course, there are little challenges here and there, but mostly are opportunities. First of all, government has embraced it. We have a task force that is spearheaded by Ministry of Gender, and you know that is our mother ministry in issues relating to disability.
Okay.
But also, we've had an achievement. First of all, by the end of this 2-year initiative, we want that at least 124 companies and organizations should have signed up and made this practical. Because I want you to imagine 124 companies employing persons with disabilities. Okay, just an example. Each company has taken on 5. So you calculate 5 times 124. But we imagine that by the end of the initiative, this should be sustainable. These organizations and companies that are 124, of course, will continue being ambassadors, and they will convince others to say, no, we can employ these people. They can actually work. At the end of the day, we shall not be there as make 12.4% work as a project, but the initiative will continue moving by these companies and organizations that will have set a precedent.
And actually, the initiative in itself will be a reality.
Exactly.
Let me have your last words, Mr. Musa.
Okay, my last words are, briefly, I'll give my mobile telephone number for those companies and organizations that feel they needed to contact me.
Okay.
Just in case they want to be part of this. It's 0702 465 315.
If you could just repeat that, Mr. Musa.
0702 465 315. I am even on WhatsApp, so you can WhatsApp me. My last words are, ladies and gentlemen, let's all be part of this initiative, because, of course, disability is not inability.
That's very true.
And let's look at the strength of persons with disabilities and let the disability follow. But the strength should be fronted with a barrier-free environment. Persons with disabilities shall always live a dignifying life.
Indeed, let's look at the strength of people with disabilities, and the disability will come later. It's been a pleasure having you, Mr. Mwambu Musa. Thank you very much.
Thank you too, and I love DJ Roger's mix. I have just been hearing about him.
Hey.
I'm sure I'll shake his hand before I leave.
Absolutely true. Thank you very much.
And I like you as well.
Can you feel it? Can you taste it? Can you see it? Can you smell it? It's that ooh ah, Fanta Fanta makes you go ah. Taste the Fanta flavor, smell the freshness, feel the fizzling bubbles and see the vibrant colors. Grab a Fanta, awaken all your senses, let the flavor take you higher, forget your stresses. Look at life through different lenses. Every hour, any hour, you can have a Fanta.
Open a Fanta today and enjoy every tasty drop. Drink in the fun with Fanta Orange and Fanta Fruit Blast.
Ebyobufuzi bya Uganda biddukanga kalimika ssaawa. Buli kiseera wabaawo ekipya. Tuganoonya okuva gye gatandikira ne tukwata ku bitiisa. Gasakibwa bamanyi ne gasengejjebwa abakugu. Tukozesa tekinologiya owa waggulu okugakuwa butereevu nga bwe gagwawo. Tosuwa amasengejje buli lunaku ku ssaawa emu ey'olweggulo.
Coca-Cola is now offering you all your favorite brands without sugar. Coca-Cola, Fanta Orange, Sprite and Stoney. They still have everything you've always loved. Same great taste.